Welcome YouTube. Are you ready to debunk some weight loss myths? So we're going to talk about 5 of them today. 5 weight loss myths debunked. Okay, and the first one is that rapid weight loss is always unhealthy. I know you guys might have actually maybe even heard me make a comment about, rapid weight loss. And the truth is, it really depends on what you are losing rapidly. I mean, if you're losing water rapidly, well, it's not gonna last, right? You can only lose so much water before your body goes, oh, nope. Or if you're losing muscle, same thing. I mean, your body's gonna realize, okay, we're in starvation mode here, we have to do something, right? So eventually, rapid weight loss that's helping you lose muscle or losing water, that's not healthy. Okay, so when I'm kind of referring to unhealthy rapid weight loss or fat diets, that's really what I'm talking about, is those type of weight loss. But losing fat cells or fatty acids inside of fat cells rapidly, that's good, right? Because at the end of the day, the fat is what we're after. Your body stores fat as a unit of energy, and it's able to burn that, whether it's fast, slow, medium. I mean, we're okay with that. We want it to burn that fat cell or burn the energy inside of that fat cell, which we call free fatty acids, right? So if the body is rapidly burning that, that's okay. That is healthy. We want that lost, because at the end of the day, inside of that fat cell is where all of the toxins are. We want that out of our body. Inside of that fat cell is where the things that the body doesn't know how to process, right? That's what we need to get out of the body. So if it's losing those rapidly through your rapid weight loss program, that is okay. So that's why I encourage patients to use body composition analysis machine as their weight scale. That's what I use in my practice. That's what I use at home. That's what I recommend my patients to get. If you're going to spend money on a scale, you might as well just spend a little extra dollar to get the body composition analysis. That way, as you're losing weight, you can tell what you're losing. Is it water? Is it fat? Is it muscle? Is it bone? You need to know what you're losing. And if it is fat, then great. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because that's what we want to lose, okay? So that's the first myth. The second myth is that exercise is the sole driver of weight loss. Exercise is important, don't get me wrong. I mean, everybody knows if you lose weight without exercising, more than likely you're gonna have hanging skin, you're not gonna be healthier in the long run because your metabolism has been not improved, right? So we want to use exercise, but it is not the sole driver of weight loss. In fact, a lot of studies, and it's been confirmed multiple times, right, that the diet, what you're eating, is actually sometimes even more important than the exercise. Ask any trainer, right? When you sign up with a personal trainer that you want to help, have them help you lose weight, why do most of them give you a meal plan? Because they know that, they can work you out really, really hard, and you can just go across the street and eat the wrong food, and you just messed up that whole hour or 2 that they spent working with you. So the most important thing when it comes to weight loss is what we are putting in the body, hands down, right? Exercise will support that, and exercise will make those choices you've made show up better in terms of results. But you cannot just exercise and not eat the right foods. And I'm sure most of you can attest to that. In fact, make a comment in the section below if you've tried just exercising and not changing your diet, and tell me exactly how that worked out for you. All right, so the third myth that I'm going to bust today is skipping meals or eating very little. So this is one big one. I see a lot of patients make this mistake all the time. I mean, all the time. Patients come in, they want to lose weight, I put them on the eating plan, I tell them based on your body composition, this is how many calories you should eat per day, this is how much exercise you need, how much water you should drink, and so on and so forth. So the patient they start seeing weight loss, and the minute it slows down a bit, like maybe they're not losing 1 pound or 2 pounds a week now, maybe they're losing a pound every other week. Oh no, oh no, I gotta cut back. And then they stop eating or eating very little. So little, in fact, some of them are feeling weak, faint, tired, and so on, right? And they call me and they go, Dr. O, I mean, I can't eat any less. I mean, I don't know why the weight's not moving. I'm like, what do you mean you can't eat any less? Yeah, you should be following the plan that we put together. So then they tell me, well, I mean, I started intermittent fasting, so I don't eat breakfast anymore now. I only eat 2 meals, and those 2 meals consist of this, that, and the other. And I'm adding the calories up, and I'm like, you're less than 800 calories a day. How in the world? You need at least double that for your body to even just function, not talk less of like doing stuff. Okay, so a lot of patients I have to educate all the time. Like, look, eating less actually hurts you. Yes, eating too little actually hurts you. It causes your body to slow down your metabolism because your body thinks, oh, we gotta survive, conserve energy. So then your body slows down the metabolism, it starts to hold on to fat. Yes, it starts to hold on to fat when you eat too little because you trigger what we call the starvation mode. Okay, so when your body goes into starvation mode, what's happening is your body's going, okay, we are in a famine, we don't know when we're going to see food again, so let us hold on to all the fat that we have, and whatever calories he or she consumes, let's quickly turn that into more fat and store it because we don't know how long this famine is going to go on for. That's what you just triggered when you don't eat enough calories, okay? So we don't want to do that. We want our body to think there's plenty of food around, we're just eat healthier, so it can continue to burn the storage, the fat storage that we're really after, okay? I hope that makes sense. So we don't want to trigger starvation mode by not eating enough. We want to eat enough calories, we want the right calories, okay? So pick the right stuff. And most of the time when we're eating the right stuff, guess what? We actually get full faster. It's when we eat the junk that it doesn't trigger our brain that we're full. Okay, so eating the right stuff will give you more energy, will give you more fat loss in the long run. So you want to eat enough, not too little. Okay, so that is one that I usually find that I have to talk to patients about. The other thing about not eating enough or skipping meals or eating too little is that you can start to make yourself actually have cravings at the wrong time of the day. So you go all day, you feel like you're not that hungry, so you're not eating anything or eating very little, and then all of a sudden you get home from work and you're like, you've been good all day, right? You did it today, and then all of a sudden what? You can't go to sleep, you're hungry, you're starving, you just keep tossing and turning, and then you get up, and then what happens? You go to the fridge, now you gotta go eat that peanut butter and something that's gonna make you feel satisfied, right? And all of those calories that you've starved yourself up all day, now you're gonna consume it right before you go to bed, and that is just not what we want. We want those calories spread out throughout the day so that our body can start to burn it and use it during the day to manufacture the proteins, to all the things that our body needs to function right, okay? So that's what we want to do, not starve ourselves and then eat it all at night right before bed. This is another problem we see with not eating enough calories, right? Especially in patients that are diabetic. So when you eat so little that your blood sugar gets critical, what happens is you actually also trigger your liver to start making glucose. It's a process we call gluconeogenesis. So your liver is designed to help regulate blood sugar as well. I mean, this is not just a job of the pancreas. So the liver will start to sense, critical blood levels here of glucose. Let me help. So the liver starts to dump new glucose that it is manufacturing by itself. Okay, you didn't have to eat it. It's manufacturing it by itself. It starts to dump that into your bloodstream. Okay, so what happens then? Your blood sugar spikes, and guess what? Insulin spikes, and then what happens? Well, your body starts storing fat because that's what insulin does. All right, so you don't want to eat so little that happens as well, okay? And then when you eat too little, what else happens? Well, now you've not put enough nutrients in your body. I mean, there's a reason why we have those variety of meals throughout the day, so that we can have room to put different phytonutrients, different greens, different minerals, different vitamins into our body, right? So if you're not eating, you're skipping meals, what's happening? You're depriving your body of those essential nutrients, essential amino acids to build muscle, to build bone. You're not consuming it. So what's going to happen? Well, your body's going to do what it needs to do, is to conserve what it already has, and that means slow down your weight loss, okay? So those are things that you might be doing that sabotaging your weight loss. Again, it's a myth that eating less would result in more weight loss, okay? All right, so let's talk about another one. What's another big one? Oh, spot reduction. Let's talk about that, right? You go to a trainer, you tell them, well, I want to make my gluteus maximus a maximus, okay? Well, yeah, yes, we want a big behind. All right, so yes, you can do that, but it's not spot reduction of fat that does that. It is actually the trainer. What they're doing when they say they're spot reducing is that they are actually helping you build the muscle in that area. So what does that actually take? It's not burning the fat there. It's actually telling that muscle to get stronger. So they work that muscle to break down, right? So the muscle breaks down, and then in the process of that muscle rebuilding, you give it all the right nutrients, and now it's going to be bigger and stronger when it's done. So all of those special exercises that they have you do in certain areas telling you they're reducing fat in that spot, it's a myth. No, they're not reducing fat. They are actually building muscle in that area. And that is great. I mean, we want to have, you know, strong muscles in the legs, in the butt. I mean, all those things are important to give us a nice core. You know, we want to target those areas, but get it straight. What they're doing is they're building this muscle and making it stronger in those areas, not reducing fat. Fat is going to reduce throughout the body as it wills, okay? We cannot tell you where to lose it, all right? So that's a myth, all right? So the next one and final one is that carbs are the enemy of weight loss. Yes, oh yes. I mean, some of you have actually read in some of my, you know, some of the materials that I've given you or books that I've written that, you know, you have to be very mindful of carbs when you are trying to lose weight. But it is a myth that you cannot have any carbs. Okay, the truth is the type of carb that you're eating. Okay, so what we want is the complex carbohydrates, right? The ones that are high in fiber, the ones that are complete, natural, the roots that we pick from the ground and we cook and we bake and we steam, right? Not overly processed, packaged, spiked or sugared carbs. We don't want those, right? We want the high fiber things. So if I'm going to pick, for example, if I'm going to pick a potato, well, I'm going to pick a sweet potato because it's higher in fiber than white potato, right? So that's an example of a complex carb that I will allow my patients to have and, you know, still be able to lose weight on. And then we watch the quantity. How much of it are you eating at a go, right? We're not going to eat a whole big baked potato, add some butter into it, put bacon into it, put sour cream into it. You guys know what I'm talking about. No, we're not going to eat it that way. We're going to steam it, we're going to boil it, we're going to bake it, but without adding those excess sugar and excess fat to it at the same time. That is how we're going to consume it so that we can get the fiber that's also going to help us lose weight, regulate our bowels, help us even reduce our overall insulin level. Okay, so that is the example that we are thinking of. Another good example for this carb not being the enemy is if you guys are familiar with the new class of drugs now called the GLP-1 agonists. So most of you know them as, you know, things like Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy, Bound. So those drugs are actually, you know, a lot of patients are using them, losing weight, but they're still eating carbs. And you're wondering, how are they able to do that? Well, because a lot of these medicines are actually helping the way your body uses insulin and how quickly you feel full and signaling the part of your brain that tells you you're full. So that's an example of someone that would be eating carbs, taking this medication and still losing weight. So the carbs itself is not the enemy, it's the way it's used, is how much of it we eat. And, you know, those type of things is what really causes your weight to, you know, move or not move. So those are just 5 examples that I'm giving you today of myths about weight loss. I think that you guys can come up with more. I'm sure we can be here all day talking about all kinds of myths. So give me the myth that you've heard that you've debunked, or you know someone that's debunked, right in the comment section. I'd love to read it. Talk to you guys soon.